Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Friday, the 10th, and the year is 2020. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly wrap up here. I gotta fix the date. And just so you know, I didn't put out a video yesterday. I hope I didn't scare anybody. But one of the things I do is to give back to the community. I volunteer at a food bank, and it's about 40 miles away from where I live. So I had to be there by 9 o'clock in the morning. And yesterday we had the biggest handout ever. A semi tractor trailer rolled up, and so the crew that unloads the truck had to unload it. And we do this in a shopping mall, and so it was the biggest handout ever. And normally we start at 10 and we're done by noon. I don't think we got out until after 2 o'clock yesterday. So by the time I got home, I was beat. Anyway, I just want you to know, and yes, definitely had social distancing on. I had my mask and gloves. And for those of you who may recall, I might have mentioned that I'm a home care worker. I do that for friends or friends of friends. That's just another way to give back to the community. So I've been through the preventing disease transmission class, I think 3 times. I usually take it once a year, just in case there's any updates and a refresher. So, and the other thing is where I live, there's been no reported cases of coronavirus. The county's only about 62,000 people, so it's small rural community. Anyway, back to trading. I just hope I didn't worry anybody by not putting out a video yesterday. Okay, just remember, these videos are for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine. Trading is extremely risky. You can lose all of your money. If you need trading, investment, or financial advice, seek the advice of an accredited financial professional. That way, if you lose all your money by taking their advice, you know you had the advice of an accredited financial professional instead of some guy with a funny name who puts out trading videos on YouTube. Okay, and when you're trading, fellow traders, remember always have your risk management in place. Do not lose any more on one particular trade than you're willing to lose. And for the week, you can see the euros made a nice little comeback here. It almost looks like it made it to the previous midpoint. Now I'm kind of curious here. Mid dots. We showing the previous, showing the pivot, but let's just take a quick look here at that midpoint dot. Almost at 109,579. So close, getting close there. As you can see, 1, 2, 3 pairs did not fill. Oh, 4 pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4 did not fill on the weekly gap. We're 308 pips off the low, yearly low, and 267 pips off that yearly high. Almost broke out of the previous day here, sitting in that wick zone. And now we're in the opening range for the month right here. You see we left the opening range for the week here. So for your horizontal line traders, like to do the opening range breakouts, look for a breakout next week here. And for those of you who like the inside bars, you can see 2 days ago we had an inside bar. Yesterday, if you took that break, you were rewarded. Once again, simple horizontal line trades. Just remember, candle color at the line, go with the candle color. It's not difficult. And the range for today, I guess it's Good Friday, is what it says here. So I guess people are taking time off, maybe a long weekend. As you can see, traders, we've only pushed the range over 100 on 6 pairs. buy zone. The pivot was here. If you took that trade here or here, you probably got stopped out or scratched it. Just no motion to the downside. And buy zone here. Technically, because the pivot's here and it hadn't been taken out, you wouldn't have taken these signals either. If you want to be strict method. Not enough range too low, only 33 pips. Once again, we missed that daily pivot. But remember, I called these out in the beginning of the week. We did hit that weekly pivot because we know there's just not too many missed pivots. Let's see, we've got 1, 2 so far this month and 1 here at 1065 from last month. So look for these pivots to get taken out. And we're in that upper daily wick zone here once again. And wall mall, you can see here, there's just not much movement today, boys and girls. Now, it's funny, there's a trader out there that was saying wanted to have the wall mall zones, the previous ones displayed, and we've kind of been going back and forth in emails. But I was talking to Wall Mall about it, and even Wall Mall said, no, there's no point in that. It's because you can only trade this candle. You can't trade any of these. So, so from even Wall Mall says no, but I did create a template and I sent it out to him using an indicator, TRO buy zone dots, and you can set it so it will show you the buy zone, not the sweet spots. But if you overlay it on the sweet spots, and if you put set the buy zone to open, it's the 5 input. The input, if you set the input to 5 for I think it's called I buy zone instead of 10. It'll put the dots out here and then you can see it. Well, actually, maybe I should just do it so you can see what I'm talking about. Hold on. Okay, so you can see here, I just put this TRO buy zone dots indicator. You come down here, my buy zone, set this to 5. And you can see it's going to put up buy zone dots where the gray is the open. That's the buy trigger. That's the sell trigger. And one other thing you have to change is the period. If you switch the period to 1 hour, then you can see the buy zone for each hour. So in this particular case, it doesn't it doesn't really, well, actually what it does show is that how these buy zones were where they are in relation to the wall mall lines, because in fact in the wall mall indicator that I wrote, you can actually have what we call dynamic, which is basically the buy zone plus or open plus or minus 5 pips, and Wall Mall himself has been using that. So anyway, so I hope that helps that fellow trader out there. But as far as the shading, I guess I could go in and code it to shade, but I don't know if that indicator is really if I can do that simply or not. I could probably figure it out though. Anyway, but like I said, Walmall kind of said no, so I kind of have to go with, since it's his method, I kind of have to go with what he's saying, and that's his advice. So you have to take it from the guy that does it. Okay, price action screen. Once again, there's just not much happening here. Once again, on this Walmall chart, there's just not much going on today. And prices at the current 73 fib, 73%. So it's 73% off the bottom of the range. You can see here the H1 ranges today. This means just don't trade. So actually what I'm doing is I'm working on some code this morning. What do we have here? Smart rat zone. Let's switch that over to M15. And there you go. So currently price closes above the line about 15% of the time here based on high minus close. So 85% of the time it's going to close below this line. So looking for rat reversal, as you can see, it's in your favor. And the funny thing is, I realized you could just have a chart with just this line and nothing else on the screen. And based on these percentages, you can, and then maybe looking at price action, you can go, yeah, I know what my, statistically, what my odds are for for the short to be profitable versus a long to be profitable. And it's just one of those things where that's not the reason I wrote this, but I found out that it's like, yeah. And just remember, that's in the smart rat zone indicator. And I did send out the beta version to people who donated for 2020. But remember, it's beta version, meaning there could be some things that aren't working quite up to snuff. So just be careful. But these calculations I know are working. But some of this other stuff, um, I think I have to do some cleanup work in the sense that things can get pretty crazy depending on uh, what you turn on or off in here. So, fellow traders, that kind of wraps it up for the week. I hope you have a safe and fun weekend, and I hope you had a profitable week. So, next week, when you come back, always remember and never forget it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So, go out there and drain the banks.